Hello! We will tell you the start of IA and how it applies to SEO. We came together because we wanted to do a team speech, talk about the business and technology. I work in key trends. We won't be talking about engineering. We'll talk about IA in different ways and different models. And we'll talk about how this can be applied in daily work of SEO. And we'll also talk about, and to start this speech, we wanted to prepare a diagram with the last trends in LLMs. We will see all the different models since 2018. I also wanted to say there is new architecture that makes neural networks with transformers. And this is something that came out a month ago, and at the end, if we have time, there will be a link. But if you don't, there is no time, so you know. So we're going to see how this can be used with SEO. We can use knowledge bases to use them in AT. The knowledge base is putting documents together. It's like a document center. And this way we can research on a topic, because when we're doing EAT, most important thing is to have this knowledge and to show that. We can also have on-site authors, markups, quotes. So what we need to do here is collect all of this information, and there's also a script that we're going to share with you. And what we see is that in this process we need to have useful information and be an expert, so we can give interesting information to the user, and this way the user is satisfied. And if they're satisfied, they can retain it, and this way you will convince them. But you need good content, because if you don't have good content, you have nothing. So you need to create a system where you're uploading information. It can be papers, documents, links to other pages. And you put all this together, you charge it, you prepare a chat box to interact with this document, and you can consult it, learn from it, and then publish this content on site. So we're going to add this to Wikitrends. So you have a research center. So this way you will have these documents and you will become an expert, so that the person writing it can learn about what they need to talk. I will explain how we can create this. You need to open this, and the writer probably needs documents and references, articles for competition. We need the best content, and we can create ETL processes, and we can also look at some others, but we'll have another talk about that. And we have that. We can do the first extraction phase with scrapping, paper scrapping of competition or whatever you like. Then you can transform it, put it in a database, extract embeddings, and then make it LLMs. But we just wanted to change the name, and that's why we're calling it extract and transforming. And to do this, we are proposing an infrastructure that can be useful. We have a tool that we use to orchestrate work, also extraction processes for scrapping with Python and some others. I won't be talking about Python. There's also Arvix for papers, or scales if you have a lot of detail and need to be more potent. We use Python, and there's also SQL and other bases. Then there's Hugging Face, and it's a common repository to get nice things, embeddings, and some other models. And the most well-known are Dubert and Tufandoan. And there's a database for vectors. Once you have all embeddings, you can use Ubilis or Pinecone, or Lance, which is Parquet to big data, and Parquet are files with a lot of information, and also to convert it to OpenAI. And we're going to give you a little give. This is a chart PDF with a launching that's very simple, so you can speak with PDF. And there's also a ClickHouse and machine learning that shows you how to use it and how to save vectors, which I think is quite interesting. You should take into account that your writer should have a center of documentation so that they can research and create useful content, and you can use real quotes. You shouldn't use ChatGPT as as a quote. You should just real one. Also, internal linking. This is something very important for SEO. And it's all the internal part of linking and architecture. We've been investigating for a long time how to create knowledge graphs from our content. So we have a knowledge domain that tells us what we're talking about. And then we have the certificate of authority that we need to work on for a lot. So we're trying to optimize content and link it properly. You need to work into between the double graph and the knowledge graph and link it to the link graph. And with this combination, we managed to have a semantic relationship between documents and also using these documents within the document, and then you can link it in relation to the semantic relation. Linking needs to be useful for the user nowadays. There will be higher clicks. It needs to be based on semantic relations and entities, not only keywords. It needs to be related to itself and have a topical authority. It should have links within the text with long answers. We need links to fresher topics. And what we do is that we take this knowledge graph and our entities and the competition's entities, so we semantically know what to talk about. And then you should add the traditional link. And we think this is the approach that we need. So yeah, we've automatized this to take entities from competition, from a URL, and to check if our content is well optimized for these entities. And then we have automatic links used by using Google Trends, and sometimes Google even gives them ready-made to use, so we can make it a lot more semantic than traditionally. Google comes from random surfer model, and I think it comes from P equals 0.85. It's PR 1 over N. From then on, we have reasonable surfer model with simulations in Monte Carlo and Bayesian models. This is something that you can see in the patents of the post-month. From now on, we have numbering, MOOM, ML algorithms, birds, and after this, we have no idea what's going on. But our only conclusion is that we need to use a UX, a UI that's perfect, and SEO semantic trends, and help for the user. To know how to connect these things, I think this has already been explained, since it has chain mark. And we need to take T mark, which is for extraction, and we can bring order to the text or to the web, which are two articles that are quite useful. And from them on, we can create a P matrix for transition. And as you can see, there are these calculations that we can make. This stochastic matrix is what is showing us, and we also have the weight matrix. And to calculate this PR, we need to look for interactions, and we need to find our convergent vector in every infinite. But this never occurs. This is just a theory. So what Google and everyone does is sub k minus 1 so we have like a lower influence. All these vectors are mark chains, and this way we can define the page rank with this. And we have the dumping factor and the name of URLs. This way we can have strong URLs. We can use MOM and text on wrap paper. We also have a little present here for you. You have a chat here that is quite useful, and also another chat from this Aparicio. So using T-rank is a system that we use, and that needs to be passed, and we need to mix semantics with normal linking. And something else that we do when we work with SEO is that we have thousands and millions of data, and when we're trying to scale this to 1,000 projects, we need to have a prioritization of where the focus should be. So we're creating a neuronal network to create opportunity. And this opportunity scoring should learn from the keywords that actually work. And we are having problems because giving it success so it learns is quite complicated to do. We have some punctuation algorithms that is what is usually done, and we're going towards this. And the important thing is to know where priority is, because when we're working with a lot of details and data, we don't know where priorities are. We spend too much time analyzing, but we really need to create small actions that actually create progress. Manu will tell us how this works. Before explaining the system that I was creating, if you don't know how neural networks work, I'm going to go through it briefly. Basically, they're algorithms that learn. So the basic one would be the perception. Then we have a feed-forward network, perceptron, and multi-layer perception. We have also prepared a document with all of these that are prepared, but it's thought for learning, not for it to be used to produce anything. We have the basic one, which is perceptron. We also have the concept of neurons that was created in 1940s. And what it does is that it receives an input, the numbers multiplied by a weight, and this allows it to relearn. We don't have concepts like black box, input layer, conventional layer, and black box. This would be another speech, however. But what we have is 4 phases. The first one is through scrapping, Search Console, ULP Analytics, and some others. And here we're extracting more information. And we have a second phase with Google Trends and other analytics, where we're showing the ideal architecture, not the current one. We can mix them both, and with a neural network that is our own, we can create the opportunity scoring for keywords and clustering, and then we can make this better with an algorithm to prioritize content. And this is the first version of it, but I think it will work because it will be developed. Well, I think I'm just not going to explain it. Yeah, you can see it there. And this neuronal network, you can only see it on phase 3, and it learned from the impact of the business. And it has predictions and scoring and more others. And this is something that we're creating with our own algorithms and everything, and we will have it ready soon, in some months. And now let's go to the last bit. If you want to try anything you want to ask us, let us know. And if you have a lot of data, you should go from this ponderation algorithm to something that's stronger. But take into account that you need the success of the keyword that you use and the content that you use. We're changing the paradigm, and these are things that are going to help us work, see what kind of trip we are, and SEO is going to advance, or I'll talk to the others. I think this is okay.
So you can ask using a chat, or you can ask using your voice. And what's important is to ask the right questions to get the right data. You have to ask about all the functions from OpenAI. You can ask using your normal voice to make these queries. So of course there are some risks. There is the risk of paralysis for analysis. Bias as well is a risk. You can ask about different data, but it is also possible that the data that you get is wrong. So be careful and be careful about the data that you receive. And this is especially when working with APIs. And we're looking into that in order to improve that. But there are also a lot of advantages, like the speed of finding out answers, and you can use the help of AI very heavily. Here we have some different ways of using this, of communicating with the data. So you can use ChatGPT-4, which makes things a lot quicker and more accurate. You can also use LLM systems connected with APIs. This is a new functionality of OpenAI, so you can use these tools to work as well. You can carry out tests, and for example, you can also use this tool to ask about something that's happening today. You can ask this from the chat spot. You can see the YouTube link here as well if you haven't seen it. So to finish, I will talk about the AI agents, how they work. So basically what you do is you introduce a prompt. There is a transformer. You enter the kind of information that is required. So the source information is there, and then you will have an output. You can use Python, you can use API. So this is quite a simple way of programming. These are quite easy to use tools. So you can use transformers from zero, attention-free transformers, OpenAI agents. So one of these is by Apple, released last year, and that's Chat Attention, this platform. And it was possible to improve the system by getting computationally more results thanks to some recent developments. And the last one here in this list came out about 15-20 days ago. And it's also a type of transformer. Basically, you can use it to pause the work, to look up a specific word, look for the word in a specific context. And this architecture helps to have the same amount of computation to get more results. So that is a great advantage. So this is a very useful tool. I hope you can all try this out. And there are a lot more than you might have thought in API that you can use in AI context. So let's make use